Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing Chaos Head. And this is episode 3. Last time we had a delusion of going in the alleyway, about to go around the corner, and then we're stopped by a girl covered in blood who's from his school. There was the emblem of the school that he goes to. And before he saw her face, he was taken out of the delusion and was then sat at the cafe. It seems like he, say, for example, goes to the school, has a delusion, wakes up from the delusion and is somewhere else, which is interesting. And walking back from the cafe, we've gone to the same alleyway, and something's made him stop dead in his tracks. And we're going to find out right now. Let's go. I sensed a change in the atmosphere, paralyzing my body in place. I then noticed my face was soaked with sweat and my knees were shaking. Unable to take it anymore, I turned around, which meant that I'd lost, but thankfully there was no one behind me. Not even a car passing by or something. So why did I feel so uneasy? Ah. The ringing in my ears ceased. I hadn't even realised it, but I'd been hearing some ringing sound this whole time. But still, until now, I'd been completely oblivious to it. And now that it was gone, I couldn't hear anything at all. For a place like Tokyo, this sort of sudden silence seemed completely unreal. It was a sort of perfect silence where you could hear a pin drop if you focused hard enough. So I closed my eyes and listened closely just to see what I could hear. But I still couldn't hear anything at all. That was pretty strange. No, that was definitely strange. There were all sorts of things I should have been hearing. Trains running by, car horns in the distance, some sort of small noise. So why did I hear nothing? Was something wrong with my ears? I felt compelled to shout just so I could hear something. I felt like I might go crazy otherwise. But I couldn't do it. The silence was deafening, but it made me fear that what would happen if I broke it. What's that noise? Suddenly a single sound resounded through the silent world. I turned my head to look for the source, but instead I found a slew of shining objects scattered across the asphalt. Are those crosses? When I saw them, my body suddenly unfroze. And naturally, perhaps too naturally, I started moving towards them. Too naturally. Driven by curiosity, I picked one up. It was made of metal with a long pointy end like a needle. A stake or a nail maybe? Whatever it was shaped like a cross, hence my initial confusion. It felt almost phantasmal, like it might float away at any moment. I tightened my grip on it. And the sound continued to reverberate faintly in the distance. A sound cold enough to send chills down my spine, repeating incessantly. Even so, I couldn't help but move towards its source. It was like I was in a trance. Was it just morbid curiosity, or was I hoping that the noise would save me? That it would grant me salvation from this silent world? You know, this reminded me of that one German folktale. What was it called again? Oh, yeah, the Pied Piper of Hamelin. A story in which the sound of one man's pipe lured over 100 children into following him. The clanging sound refused to stop, and the farther I walked, the louder it got. It was coming from farther down the alley. Past the corner on my left, I could already tell. If I turned that corner, I'd be met with the source of the sound. And yet I never thought of turning back. Such a thought didn't even cross my mind. It was like my body was moving on its own. And so I turned the corner, and my eyes were struck by a vibrant crimson, shining through the darkness. Oh my god! Holy fuck! My first thought was, have I ever seen this art piece before? My second thought was, it doesn't look very realistic. Maybe I was so shocked that my brain wasn't processing things properly. Normally when I saw something this terrifying, I'd freeze, scream like a little girl, and piss my pants all at once. The work consisted of spikes arranged on a wall, like the quills of a hedgehog or pins in a pincushion, but when I looked closer I realised the pincushion was leaking blood. So then that meant that the puddle of crimson below it was blood. The feeble glow of the streetlight just barely reached it, causing the pool to gleam in the darkness. Scattered around were a few shining pieces of what looked like meat, maybe. I couldn't really tell. I tried to gulp, but my throat had gone completely dry. Not a single drop of saliva to be found. And then I realised. The thing that was nailed to the wall was a human corpse. A murder that was far too unnatural, far too brutal, far too immoderate. And the one who'd done it, the one who had nailed these stakes to the wall, was a single girl. As for how I knew that, well, she was right there. It was because she was right there, standing in front of her art, holding a bundle of stakes in her blood-soaked hand. I could only see her back from here, so I obviously had no clue what she looked like. What I could tell, though, was that she was wearing a Sumai Academy uniform. The stench of rotting garbage was intensifying, and I was hit with wave after wave of nausea. I put a hand to my mouth to stop myself from vomiting, but I was nearly at my limit. And then it suddenly dawned on me. The cause of my deja vu. The answer to the question, where have I seen this man before? The picture. Shogun sent. Without meaning to, I'd said that out loud, without realising how dangerous or even deadly that mistake could be. In response to my voice, her shoulder twitched slightly. And with that, she slowly turned to face me. Oh, hello. Hello. In that moment, as if her gaze was piercing straight through me. Such desolate eyes. She'd just killed someone. Oh my god. Ah. At first, she seemed shocked, but her expression quickly changed to a somber smile. And then... Thank goodness! She softly whispered those words. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for what? Why was she smiling at me? I didn't understand. The questions kept piling up, to the point where it sent a chill down my spine. Now panicking, I tried diverting my eyes. The first thing that came to my mind was, I don't want anything to do with this. I mean, for starters, I could hardly make eye contact with regular 3D girls, let alone psycho killers. And the police would be here soon, and I was hungry. I really wanted a sandwich. Are you going to eat that? That's why I should just go home. Yeah, I need to get out of here, as fast as humanly possible. If I don't, I'll... go insane. Taku. Huh? Suddenly, she called me by name, even though I'd never told her my name, even though I'd never even met her before. I was looking for you. As she looked at me, her lips twisted into a horrifically fearsome smile, almost like she was a demon. Whoa. Screaming at the top of my lungs, I ran as fast as my legs could carry me. It hurt to breathe, but I couldn't care. I didn't care. I just kept screaming and running as if my life depended on it. At one point along the way, I turned my head to look behind me, but she didn't seem to be chasing me. Another delusion? Oh, I'm back. I was completely winded. My lungs struggled to shovel air in and out, and my agonized panting echoed throughout my room. I plopped down in my computer chair. My body and clothes were completely drenched in sweat. What the fuck had just happened? Another one of my delusions. My nausea had become unbearable. Trying to alleviate it, I grabbed a cola from the fridge and chugged it as fast as I could. That delusion was way too realistic, even for my usual standards, and boy was it gruesome. Too gruesome. I was still out of breath. Could a simple delusion really do this to me? No, it definitely could. I felt as an uncomfortable sensation in my right hand. I'd been clenching my fist so hard my fingers had nearly turned white. I hadn't even noticed until just now. I slowly opened my hand, one finger at a time, all while my heart pounded like a drum. Eek! Lying in the palm of my hand was a single steak. Terrified by the sight of it, I instinctively turned and threw it against the wall. Well, that's going to be found by the killer later, surely. That was the steak from before. Well, I definitely did pick one up at the ground earlier, but how was that even possible? Hadn't it all been just a delusion? I don't know. It can't be possible. It can't be. It can't be. It can't be. Maybe feel a bit sick. At my wit's end, I started pacing around my room. I needed to figure out whether that nightmare had been real or just another delusion. That was the plan, at least, until I slipped on a CD case and lost my balance in a panic. I reached out for something to keep myself from falling flat on the floor. I barely managed to find something to latch onto, but unfortunately, that something was my shelf of waifus. Oh no, his preciousnesses. Before I had the chance to regret it, it was already too late. In the end, no matter how hard I tried, I wasn't able to stop myself from falling ass first onto the floor. And to make matters worse, several of my beautifully arranged figures came tumbling down on top of me. Ugh, god damn it. This was the worst. Everything about this was just the worst. I let out a groan as I rose to my feet. I had to make sure my figures were safe. Ugh! Ignistan from Jinkai Makyo. Your sword! It snapped clean in two. Why did it have to be one of the expensive ones? I'd paid a premium online for this. God damn it, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I tried putting the two halves of the blade back together, but I'd never be able to fix it perfectly, even if I used glue. Any value it once had was now gone. Give me a fucking break. Fuck. He's got his priorities sorted, right? I turned to my chair and kicked it out of sheer rage. Tears began to well up in my eyes. Why did I have to go through all of this? What had I ever done to deserve this? I fell to the floor and just sat there for a while, heartbroken, staring dejectedly at my now swordless Ignistan. Once the storm of anger and confusion had passed, I found my mind filling with visions of her face, along with that modern art I'd seen. I'd actually been physically holding one of those stakes, which meant it couldn't have been a delusion. It had all been real. I really wanted to deny it, but there was no way I could. By tomorrow it was sure to be all over the media. I really didn't want anything to do with this nightmare. There was no way associating with that girl, no, that demon, could bring anything but catastrophe for me. Hell, we'd only just met for the first time, and there'd already been a disaster. After all, I'd brought home a critical piece of evidence from that incident, one of the stakes that had been used in the murder. I wouldn't be surprised if that was that on its own was enough to make me a suspect. And if things weren't already bad enough, that demon had seen my face. There was no way out of this mess. At this rate, that demon was going to... No, forget about that. For now, I should focus on getting things sorted out in my head, for my own sake. If I valued my own life, I really needed to figure things out. I really needed You try saying really needed. For some reason that's tough for my little tongue. No doubt about it. That picture must have been some sort of advance notice for the murder. Otherwise there'd be no way the image could have matched up so perfectly with the crime scene. First she'd edited that image together, then she'd recreated it in real life, right down to the finest detail. That was how the crime had happened. No. In her eyes, I bet it was more of a work of art than a crime. She seemed like the kind of psycho dedicated to finishing any job with nothing but sheer perfection. She's fucked up in the head. But why show that picture to me? And wait. How did she know I was Neidhart? And how the hell did she know my real name? What was I supposed to do? That demon would definitely come to kill me soon. If she already knew my name, email and all that stuff, then there was a very good chance she knew my home address too. I curled up into the fetal position in my chair. The image of that twisted murder was etched into my mind. How could I stay calm when I could end up that way too? I don't want to die, 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 I don't want to die! Don't worry, it's gonna be A-okay. Oh. Don't worry, it's gonna be A-okay. Huh? Sarah Tan lay sideways on my desk, facing towards me with a smile. Taki, all you gotta do is hold yourself up in this nice little room. Just do that, and then the big scary demon can't do nothing to you. She'll get caught by the police any day now anyway. Till then, you can't trust anyone. Don't listen to anything that anyone says. You see, the thing about demons is that they love taking advantage of the weakness in people's hearts. So letting your guard down is a big no-no. I know you can make it through this, Taki. But Sarah, he who runs away lives to fight another day. I think there was a saying that went like that, right? You should just forget about all the 3D world. Just keep telling yourself, it's got nothing to do with me, and you'll feel much better. Because if it's got nothing to do with you, then there's no need to worry about it, right? In fact, let me teach you something you're really going to like. Did you know that shut-ins are the strongest people in the world? I mean, they never see anyone at all, so they can never get attacked by anyone. That means their self-defense is the super strongest. So Taki, all you have to do is become a complete shut-in. Simple, right? You might be right. Just what I'd expect from my waifu. I could always count on her to give me the best advice. Having regained my peace of mind, I reached out my hand for Saratan, lightly grasping her by the slim waist. Even as our faces drew closer, her smile never wavered. Thank you, Sarah. I'm feeling a lot better now, all thanks to you. And you know what? You're right. The 3D world can eat shit. And as for that demon girl, I'll bet she doesn't even care about some otaku freak like me, Sora anyway. I'm perfectly safe. I can just live on in peace, playing ESO, watching my favourite anime or whatever else, and everything else will just be fine. Just remember what I said before, Taki. Never let your guard down, you hear? Yeah, I know. I couldn't trust anyone. I wouldn't listen to a single word they had to say. All I had to do was be cautious of everything in the 3D world. As long as I did that, everything will just be fine. I'm so glad that you care that much for me, about me, Sarah. Well then. Time to play some ESO and get some life back in me. Alright, another delusion. Flying cross, flying cross. And now the promise. Flying cross, fulfilled in all its glory. Flying cross, it unleashes the one and only. Flying cross, ending of everything. Oh, okay, hang on, this is a different voice. Late into the park, the sound of a beautiful voice could be heard throughout Miyashita Park. It was coming from a pedestrian bridge that crossed over Meiji Dori. A steady flow of cars passed underneath. But in spite of this, the girl known as Fez showed no sign of being affected by the noise. She simply kept on singing, leaning back against the handrail of the bridge. "O servant, revealed by the light of the moonlight night. On any normal day, if she were to sing in the street in the public like this, she would surely attract hundreds of onlookers. But right now, no..." Oh, hang on. Okay, I fucked up the voice. But right now, nobody was listening to her sing. For Fez was deliberately concealing her presence, blending into the stillness of the night. "Connect the phantasmal paths which lead to this place." This way she could loiter quietly until the moon left the sky behind. By doing so, by becoming one with the darkness, she felt as if she could free herself from the corrupt atmosphere of Shibuya. If only for a moment. That was what Fez felt to be true. Little do they know, their screams will soon turn to silence. Suddenly Fez looked up to the night sky. The clouds covering it were starting to clear up, little by little, leaving space for the moonlight to shine through in their wake. But sadly, any and all starlight was completely drowned out by the dazzling neon of Shibuya. "And response shall fall upon us, as we link hand in hand within the wind." Fez halted her song, then slowly reached her hand out toward the sky. "Whose eyes are those eyes?" Oh. What's her connection to us? About a day had passed and I'd spent pretty much every hour of it in Baselard. I'd hardly made any time to eat. I'd immersed myself fully into the role of Neidhart, and in the process completely erased every trace of Nishijiro Takumi, which is my name. In ESO I was an absolute god. No demon could ever strike fear into my heart, and I was respected by everyone. If only I could live in such a comfortable way for all eternity. I was certain I'd be far happier than that. I'd be far happier that way. Oh, holy shit, an angelic circlet. No fucking way, a legendary drop. Holy shit. Okay, cool. I need to equip this right away. Okay, equipment. Well, it even shows up on the character model. That's so epic. Hey, look over here. Over here. Check me out, Grim. Chill out, Neidhart. Shut up and kill yourself, losers. Oh, I see. Chill out, Neidhart. I should head back to town and show off. Finally, another legendary item to add to my collection. Naturally, I was stoked. My depression from earlier had been completely blown away. Big bro! The angelic circlet had a drop rate of 0.00001%. It was so rare some players thought it was unobtainable. Did you hear me in there? Hey! Open up! Well, its stats were shit, so it was pretty much a cosmetic item. But that was good enough. People could tell you had an angelic circlet just by looking at you. Angelic. Which was enough to make anyone green with envy. Big bro! I've done it! Neidhart is now one step closer to achieving godhood. Come on, open up! Oh. Shut up, who the hell's banging on my door for so goddamn long? Just when I'd finally managed to get a hold of a rare item, this happened. Couldn't a man enjoy his victories for 1 second? You big jerk! Oh god. That voice. The moment I realised who it was, my mood instantly took a nosedive. There was no mistaking it, that was the voice of an assassin sent by my parents. My little sister, Inami. What a pain in the ass. If you don't open this door right now, then you're really mean! Well, shit. Here comes the storm to rain on my parade. I really didn't want to let her in, but if I didn't, my parents would probably get on my case about it. Stop living alone and come back in with us, they'd say. I'd ignore them if I could, but my dad basically owned this building. So it'd take just a snap of his fingers for him to kick me out. Oh, this was the worst. Hey! Shut the fuck up. I swear her voice was so shrill it could shatter glass. The banging just didn't stop, and since the metal walls were pretty thin, the sound echoed loudly all throughout the container. Inami was well aware of that, in fact, and that was exactly why she was doing it. In the end, I had no choice. I reluctantly removed the padlock and opened the door. Oh, here you are. Routine survival check. This baby-faced runt was my little sister. She was a year younger than me. At least say something when I knock on your door. I thought you were dead or something. Of course, the first thing out of her mouth was bitching, and to make things worse, she was standing there with her hands on her hips. Still the bratty little shit she was. The spitting image of irritating. Her existence brought me nothing but suffering. Wow, this place is still a total pigsty. Can't you at least tidy up a little bit every once in a while? Inami just waltzed right on in without even asking. What the hell did she think she was doing? What? Did she think she could get away with whatever she wanted just because she was my little sister? And to think there was people out there who seriously believed that little sisters were Mo. I always wanted to tell those guys how much of an epic fail that was. Well, even though she was my sister, she certainly didn't look unsavoury. She had a lolly body type. I don't like where this is going, so I could see why that might make her pretty damn popular in some circles. But as her older brother, I didn't care about that. I wasn't into her at all. As far as I was concerned, she was downright repulsive, not to mention immature. Not to say I didn't like lollies, of course. Just only 2D ones. He's gross. He's a gross guy. Ew, it smells like mold. I tell you to clean up every time I come here. Is it really that hard? Well, hang on. Well, I mean, I already know the answer. You're just too lazy to clean up. And you don't have a girlfriend to do it for you. Well, whatever. I guess I'll just have to clean it for you. But I refuse. What? Why? I don't want you to destroy my room. Wow, I can't believe you just said that. Is that really how you thank your little sister for checking in on you? Maybe things would change if you showed your older brother a little respect. And why should I be grateful that you're checking on me? I sure as hell didn't ask for that. Jeez Louise. Why do I have to be related to someone this difficult? Sometimes I wish I wasn't, you know? Anyway, I'm pretty thirsty. Let me just grab a drink. Oops. Nanami walked right past me and over to the mini fridge, once again acting like she owned the place. What is this here? What's going on? It's nothing but cola in here. You could have at least gotten some milk tea for me or something. How should I have known you'd be here? Oh, whatever. Cola it is, I guess. Surprise, fucking surprise. She went ahead and did as she pleased. There's this thing called permission, you know. She grabbed a bottle of cola from the fridge. One I'd already drank from, no less. And after only a second of hesitation, she cracked it open and gulped it down. Oh, I missed it. She just drunk straight from the bottle. Nasty. She was supposed to be a girl, yet she acted like this. What a disgrace. This was exactly why 3D sucked ass. As soon as Nanami left, I was going to chuck that bottle straight into the trash. Glug glug. Wait, what? She just... Ah! Phew. That was so good. I just ran straight here from school, and nothing beats a cold drink after a good workout. Did you just drink all of it in one go? I bought that cola with my own money. So just because you're my sister, you think you can do whatever the hell you want? Huh, I see how it is. Oh, whoops. Nanami looked at the bottle in her hand and turned pale. Oh good, it looked like she'd finally realized how rude she was being to... Oh god, why did I do that? I'm gonna get fat again! What? I like this. And it's all your fault, big bro. I had no idea what she was talking about. You've always been such a cola junkie, and it totally rubbed off on me. That's your own fault. Oh, that's your own fault. Like, we always had tons in the fridge at home, you know. Mum really spoiled you by buying so much of it. But the stuff is super high in calories, you know. You should stop drinking so much of it. From now on, you should drink milk tea instead. But milk tea isn't really any healthier than cola. It's got just about as much calories, and more importantly, who the hell asked? I'm happy with my diet, thanks. Is that all you came here for? To drink all my cola, then lecture me to stop drinking cola? Just go home already. You did your whole survival check thing, and now your job here is done, right? Why'd you feel the need to barge in here every time? Big bro, you're so mean. It seemed like I'd managed to offend her somehow. She pursed her lips into a pout and glared at me. I was already done with her shit, so I looked away. This is what I get for checking on you. I only came here because I was worried about you. I mean, you just shut yourself in here all the time, and sometimes you go for days without talking to anyone, you know? And that means you never get the chance to talk to any girls. Shut up. Stop making fun of me, you stupid bitch. I'm not into 3D girls, so why would I even bother talking to them? In fact, I'm the only girl you ever talk to, aren't I? So I don't think you appreciate me enough. Maybe if you actually start treating your sister right, you'll get a little better at talking with girls. While she was nagging, Nanami picked up one of my figures, Hikura-tan from the Suicide for Hikuri, and started staring at it. Damn it, don't touch my waifus without asking. If you leave even a single fingerprint on her, I'll actually beat the shit out of you. He is such a dick. Also, you need to take care of yourself. You're too old to be obsessing over dolls. I don't want to walk in here one day and find you dead on the floor, got it? What the hell was she trying to imply? It felt like she'd been becoming more and more like Mum lately, which meant that she'd gotten even more fucking annoying. Shut the fuck up. Just leave already. Don't just tell me to leave like that, you're such a jerk! Besides, I'm not finished. She was getting more hysterical by the minute. If I made her any angrier, things would get out of hand, so chill out, me. Let's go buy you a new cell phone. Huh? What had she just said? Dad told me to help you buy one. If you get a phone, we can check if you're alive whenever we want. He even gave me the money to pay for it. Oopsies. So come on, let's go already. Everyone's got a cell phone these days. You really live under a rock, don't you? Shut up already, you teenage trend-chasing bitch. I'm not the one who lives under a rock, you wrong-sider. The internet gives me all the information I need. Well, she was right about one thing. These days it was normal for a high school student to have a phone. I didn't have one. Of course, that was because I'd never used it anyway. I didn't have anyone to call or text, and I didn't want to pay for something I wasn't going to use. Okay, you ready to head out? Nanami put the figurine back on the shelf and turned her attention back to me. I'm sure you're clueless about which model to get, so we'll just get you the same one I have. As she said that, she took her own phone out of her bag and started showing it off like it was some precious heirloom. Check it out, this one's mine. The colour's so cute, don't you think? While we're at it, might as well get you one of these straps too. Yuck, what a lazy-ass design. The character hanging from the phone strap was far from cute. It looked horrible. There was no way a professional had designed it. It looked like one of those shittier, ugly, cute characters, or like one of those official government mascots. It's not lazy. I'll have you know that this little guy is called Jiro Froggy. They're super in right now. Oh, but it's not like you'd know what's popular with high school girls these days. If you crawled out of your hole long enough to fix that, I'm 99% sure you'll be able to hold a conversation with a girl. So there. God damn it, just shut the fuck up already. You trend-chasing bitch, the fuck is this Jiro Froggy shit? There's no way this thing is popular. Anyone with half a brain could tell you that. She didn't realise she was just being played by the media. It was honestly sad. Yeah, she's the sad one. Anyway, this isn't about Jiro Froggy. Come on, let's go buy you a phone already. Oh, I'm not saying you have to get this model, by the way. It's just that family members with the same model can get a discount on their rates. And you're the only one in our family that doesn't have one. I don't want one. But why? Dad's even paying for it. I don't need it. It'd be a nuisance if anything. If I had a phone, Mum would definitely call every day. If I kept ignoring those calls, they'd just send Little Miss Assassin Nanami over here to lay on the pressure. My family life would become even more of a living hell, and I'd start being way more careful as a result. I couldn't let that happen. Ugh, what the heck? I can't believe how much of a jerk you are. You know what? Fine, I'll just leave. Oh, good. Go right ahead. I opened the door for her to finally leave, but Nanami didn't budge an inch. She just shot her arms down to her sides, looking even more upset than before. You're such a jerk. The biggest, meanest jerk ever. At least walk with me to the station. No thanks. She never acted like this before. Why did she suddenly want me to walk her to the station? What was so special about today? It's really dangerous out there, you know, with all the murders and stuff. As my older brother, you should at least be a little concerned about me, right? Yesterday's events were resurrected in my mind once again, if only for a second. I frantically shook my head trying to get that gruesome scene out of my mind, and I just barely managed to. Not really. Either way, it wasn't like the new gen murderer was twisted enough to attack some brat like Nanami. I don't believe it! Are you saying that you wouldn't even care if I died? Nanami was tearing up. It seemed like my words had really gotten to her. Serves you right. Maybe you should think twice about disturbing my peace and quiet next time. This is just my own way of taking a little revenge for once. Get fucked. You big jerk! Drop dead! I hope you die in a freak accident! The freakiest of freak accidents ever! After spitting those parting words at me, Nanami pushed past me and ran away as fast as she could. It seemed like the storm had finally passed. The room grew peaceful and quiet once again. This was how things should always be around here. My own perfect little world where stupid bullshit wasn't allowed. I sat down in front of my PC, shaking my mouse a little to clear the Seratan screensaver. I tried to take a sip of the cola bottle on my desk, but it was empty. Shit. This is the bottle that Nanami just drank from. Oh god, I just had an indirect kiss with my little sister. I'm gonna puke. Maybe she was a little more charming. It would have been a little kind of a Roger-like situation I could fap to. Jesus fucking Christ. But with that horrible personality, no chance. If anything, it'd only make me more flaccid. He's so gross. Put the cap back on the bottle, then threw it at the big garbage bag in the corner of my room. It didn't go in the bag, instead it bounced off the wall and rolled under my bed. Well, whatever. Anyway, time to dive straight back into ESO. I just want to forget about the annoying real world ASAP. And we'll tune back in with Takumi next time on Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Chaos Head, and I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye. Bye.